This video is going to focus on batching, and we talked a little bit about this in class. Where this batch exists is under the Administration tab in Batch Sets. And as this comes up, we're going to create a new batch set. I see some of you have already created batches, but we're going to create a new batch set. Okay, orange again means that it's required. Let's call this one BK Enron batch set 2. Maximum batch set size is usually 500. That's what I usually set it at. The family field is going to be the beg attach, and this just means whatever the beginning parent document of that group is, it's going to go off of that field, okay? So because in the beginning attachments it's always the parent document, this is what we use for the family field. For batch prefix, usually I say something like BK Enron 002 dash, and that shows me that this is from this batch set, okay? The batch data source. This means where are you going to be searching, or what search you're going to be using in order to create this batch. You have to use a search in order to create a batch, even if that search is doc ID is set, which means that it will return everything in the database. But you have to go off of a search. So if you don't have a search created already, make sure that you create one. For this one, we're going to create emails received by Lay, all. The batch unit field, we're not going to worry about that. The family field, we have reviewed field. Now in this, you can create multiple fields for reviewed. Sometimes it'll be a first pass reviewed. Sometimes it'll be a second pass reviewed. Sometimes you'll mark it as BK reviewed. In this case, that's what I did. So BK reviewed is going to be my reviewed field. Auto batch just means that if you are loading progressive documents over a period of time, that as it reaches a limit of a batch of 500, it will create a new batch automatically as new documents are imported. Okay, so we hit save and back, and this will bring us in here. Okay, so here's my BK Enron batch set 2. If I click on this, I can go to create batches. Okay, there are actually 3 different options. Create batches is obviously it will create them. Purge batches means that it'll automatically delete it. And refresh page means obviously that it'll update whatever's on this page. Now as you notice, sometimes it'll be 500, sometimes it'll be 218. That's because we don't have an automatic even distribution of documents. So there are only 218 in that last set. Sometimes with parent and child documents you may see like 503 or 502 because the parent will be brought in, and as such the child will also be brought in. But as you can see, there are 8 batches. Most of them are 500 except for the last one, which is only 218. Okay. And that is how you create batches. Now to actually check out batches, you're going to move over to this section right here, which is review batches. Okay. And your attorneys are not going to have obviously access to this right here, the batch sets. They might have access to this, the review batches. Since there have been a lot of people that have added documents on here, I'm going to make this 100 just so we can see them all. And so there are our 8 batch sets. Okay. To check it out to you just hit edit. You can select me and then check out. And you'll see that when I hit refresh, I now have that batch checked out. Okay, right here. Usually everybody's name is training user, So it doesn't show up very well in this, but usually it'll say your first name and your last name, okay? There's been one document that's been reviewed in this. As I start reviewing, this will show up more and more. So it'll be 2 and 3 and 4. And that's basically setting up batches and keeping track, and you can run reports from here. So if you want to set a report on how many documents have been reviewed in this set, you can say checked export to file, and it will tell you whether it's in progress or not, what the batch unit is, who it's assigned to, and how many documents have been reviewed. Okay, very, very important stuff.